Welcome back to B.Hooked Crochet's Crochet Challenge for Warm Up America. In this demonstration, I will talk about how to crochet block number 3 of our Afghan challenge. You will need to crochet 18 blocks using the block number 3 pattern, and depending on how many accent colors you're using, the number of blocks per accent color is going to vary slightly. I am using 5 different accent colors, and I crocheted 4 blocks using block number 3 pattern for 4 of my accent colors. And then in my last accent color, I only crocheted 2 blocks using this pattern for a total of 18. Now the pattern for block number 3 is the same as block number 1 and 2. The only difference, of course, is that we are using a color transition. So we're going to start off with one of our accent colors, and you'll create a slip knot. And then you'll need to chain 6. And then we'll go ahead and make 3 double crochets into that first chain. And so if you're following along with us on this crochet challenge, you're a pro now at making solid granny squares. So this video is going to go a little bit quicker, and so I recommend that you go back to block number 1, the video for block number 1, if you're needing a more in-depth description of how to complete this pattern. So we've made our 3 double crochets. We'll make our corner by chaining 2, and we'll make 3 more double crochets into the center. Chain 2 for the next corner, and 3 more double crochets. Chain 2 to make the next corner, and now we'll make 2 double crochets into the center. And now we will join with a slip stitch to the second chain. So first chain, second chain here, and then we're using the remaining 3 chains to count as a double crochet. So at the end of round 1, you have a total of 12 stitches. And for block number 3, we're going to bind off here. So we're just going to use 1 round of our accent color. So just trim that tail, pull it through the loop on your hook. And now go ahead and grab your background color, and we'll complete the remaining 4 rounds. Okay, so to bind on for round 2 of block number 3, we'll just create a slip knot. And we're going to bind on in the corner where we bind it off from the previous round. So just insert your hook into that gap space, and then place your new color on your hook and pull that through, and then chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just as I did with block number 2, I like to work over these tails, and that way I don't have to weave them in later. So if you're comfortable doing that, then I would recommend doing so. If not, you can weave them in at the end. So just kind of hold them off to the side, and then make 2 double crochets into this first corner. And then make 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And so again, this is just a review of this pattern. So everything from here on out is going to be exactly the same, okay? So we just want to continue on with our solid granny square pattern. make two double crochets and a chain 2 and 2 double crochets for your corner. Okay, so when we get finished with round 2, so when we come up to the end here, we want to make sure we don't forget our last stitch here. So it looks a little bit different from where we binded on this new color, and we want to make sure we put our last double crochet into that chain 2 space, so into that corner, and then we're just going to join again with that second chain in order to finish off the round. So at the end of round 2, you'll have a total of 28 stitches, and we're going to continue on working our background color for the remainder of this block. Moving along to round 3, we'll chain 5, and then make 2 double crochets into this first corner. And then we'll make 1 double crochet into each of the next 7 stitches. Two double crochets, chain 2 and 2 double crochets into the corner. And that's our pattern repeat for round 3. Okay, so at the end of round 3, we'll just join with a slip stitch there to finish off this round. And at this point you should have a total of 44 stitches. Now move along to round 4. To begin round 4, we will chain 5, make 2 double crochets into this first corner, make 1 double crochet into each of the next 11 stitches, and at the corner make 2 double crochets, chain 2, and 2 more double crochets. And that's our pattern repeat for round 4. Okay, so this is just a review of the solid granny square, so go ahead and finish crocheting round 4, and we'll meet back up and we'll start on the last round of our block. Okay, at the end of round 4 you should have a total of 60 stitches, and then we'll just jump right into round 5 by making 5 chains, and then we'll just double crochet 2 times into the first corner, and then make 1 double crochet into each of the next 15 stitches. And at the corner we'll make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. Okay, so this is the pattern repeat for round number 5. We'll just go ahead and finish up round 5, and then we'll meet back up and we'll talk about how to bind off, and we'll finish up block number 3. Okay, once you've finished round 5, we can go ahead and bind off. Here, so I've got my last double crochet here. I just need to join with a slip stitch to finish off the round, and then just pull that tail through the loop on my hook. That finishes off my square, and we'll go ahead and weave in our tails. So if you worked over them during your color transition, you can just trim those tails off. If not, you'll need to go ahead and weave those in. And I'll just quickly demonstrate how I weave in the tails. And I actually did this pretty consistently for all of my squares. I wove them in all the same. So you want to make sure that this blanket can be thrown in the washer and can withstand some wear. So you want to make sure you get them woven in really good. Okay, now when you've finished with all of your block number 3, so like I said before, you'll need 18 total of these, then you can go ahead and move on to the next video. We'll talk about how to join all of our squares together.